It's the #1 Ford fan here, and in this video I'm going to take you through my first month in the all-new Ford Escape plug-in hybrid vehicle. I've done one whole month with this car, and I'm going to talk to you about my experience with this car, what's been great, what I haven't liked, what I have liked. Now there's a lot to go through in this video, so I'm going to break it down in chapters, and if you want to skip through some of this, make sure you look in the description, click on the chapter and get to where you want to learn more about what I'm talking about with this car. Also, I'm not going to talk too much about the Escape itself because there's millions of videos about the Escape, and there's not much difference in the shell and the body and the interior on this Escape compared to the normal Escapes, the ST line and the Vignale. Also, a video we've already put out on the electric modes and how to best use the car to drive to get your fuel consumption down as low as possible. So if you want to watch that video, check it out just here. First thing I'm going to touch on is what is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, a PHEV or a PHEV. What is it? Let's picture it's got two batteries in it. One battery is for all electric driving that gets charged up via this charger here. And there's another little battery in there that it's used for its hybrid driving mode. So when this battery is all exhausted and there's no more power from the plug-in from home, then it uses its hybrid battery to keep that fuel economy down. I've hovered around 2.2, 2.3, 2.4 litres per 100 kilometres in my driving. Now it's advertised at 1.5 combined, and that would probably be for people who are driving a little less per day. I have different driving needs for you with a school pickup and a school drop off, as well as working during the day. So I'd have a little bit more of some driving than would be normal, and that's why I'm at that 2.2 at best that I've gotten so far. You've got your battery here that gets charged up at home via your charger or at a high flow charging station anywhere across the city charging networks. And then also you've got your combustion engine, which is fueled by the fuel tank. When you are driving in hybrid mode, it's using a second battery for low speeds, for braking, and the electric motor takes over and regenerative braking happens. So this means you've got hybrid using the combustion engine at times and using the electrical engine at times. The computer software in the car makes the decision for you. You can actually use the car just in all electric mode, and you get approximately 60 kilometers per charge from home. It takes you about 5 hours to charge it from the home charger. And depending on the temperature, sometimes you'll get less for that electric battery. If it's warmer, you'll get a little bit more. So they say approximately 60 kilometers per electric plug-in charge. Now we're on charging, let's look at the charging options. This is your home outlet charger, which comes with the car. You can see that on this one. It's got a home outlet plug on it, and then it's got the Type 2 on this end. So this one goes in here, goes in like this, and you'll get some blue indicators will show that it's charging. So then you've got another option which doesn't come standard with the car, and it is a Type 2 to Type 2. This is an option that so you want to be equipped for any charging scenario that you can have, because you might be at one of the charging networks in the city which don't have their plugs, which you have to supply them, which has the Type 2 to Type 2, which goes straight into the high flow machine and goes straight into your vehicle. This is an extra additional purchase from Ford to have this, but it's probably a great idea to have this in the boot and carry with you at all times. And I actually think for convenience, I'd like to have two of these. One of these just plugged into my outlet in the garage, and I'd like to have one of these that travel with the car. So it would be really cool to do it that way, but you know, obviously there's costs involved and you may not want to do it because of the costs. Now we get to the petrol side of things. The petrol is on this side. You actually have to push the button inside to open this one. But the funny thing is then you tap the touch to release the electric one, which is, you'd think they might both be like that, but one's push button, one's touch. As far as the plug-in hybrid Escape and the normal Escapes, there's not much difference, of course, except for your plug-in here. One really cool thing I found is this little guard here that guards the door. When you open the door, you can see this little mechanical guard flicks out over, and then when you shut the door, it recesses back in. So the back is much the same. Now this one has the automatic lift gate that you can see there. Love this. This is probably one of the features that I can't live without. Push button to shut it. I find that so convenient, and I just feel so ripped off when I don't have it in one of my cars. You can see it's got the plug-in hybrid badge there as well. So the other thing I want to highlight about the Ford Escape is the size and room. Now I'm a Puma driver. I've been driving a Puma for almost 14 months now. So I'm going to do a little bit of comparisons here for the Puma because people seem to want to know the differences between the Escape and the Puma. Now the Escape has lots more room in the back and lots more head clearance compared to the Puma. One thing that I know from driving a Puma, I've got a 12-year-old fairly tall boy and he has to sit in this seat because he can't sit behind me because I have the seat too far back. And he has to push the seat so far forward that mum is very uncomfortable in the front. She's almost knees to dash because the Puma just doesn't have that foot room. Whereas the Escape here, you can see I've got plenty of room as a 6'1" guy. So this has just got that more room. Of course, you've got to pay more for the car, but you're getting a bigger car when you look at an Escape compared to a Puma. Also, the one thing that I find really handy here is that you can actually slide this seat forward as well. Give yourself a bit more room in the back, or just gives you that flexibility to be able to move this seat as well. Right now we're in the front, and one thing you'll notice in the Escape is a lot more headroom. I'm talking, I reckon I got about 5 or 6 centimeters from my head, 6'1". And also you're looking at the seats, they've got like a suede feel here, leather there with a red accent stitching. The other thing is also really comfortable because you've got your digital E-shifter and your digital handbrake. This whole area feels nice and wide and comfortable, and I've got lots of room for legs here. Now when you get to the Puma, obviously it has a manual gear shift. There you don't have that sort of space. You've got your EV buttons here, you've got your heads-up display button here, your drive modes, your parking assist, your sensors, and also you've got a nice little section here for anything you want to put, your keys, drink holders. It also has 2 USB-A types here, a charger, and then it also has a wireless charger for your handset as well. We've got a 2.5 litre turbo engine, and you've got your electric engine. Combined you get 167 kilowatt. I'm not sure how they worked that out, but I can tell you that I find the all-electric engine is good enough for me. There's some guys that review cars and look for the ultimate performance in every aspect, and they're interested in all the torque and horsepower that you can get out of every car. That's not me. I want convenience. I want a smooth ride. I want quiet. I want reliability. And I found that this electric engine is just so quiet. It's really smooth. And when the combustion engine takes over, it's so seamless when you're in normal drive mode and it's making the decisions for you. I find that when you're using the combustion engine, there's plenty of power. And there's actually times when you're in all electric mode, you've chosen to just use the electric battery, and the car will say, do you want to switch over to the combustion engine for performance? Because it can sense that you are needing a bit more horsepower by the way you're stepping on it. A lot of people would be interested to know how fast the electric engine is. So in this little clip here, I'm going to do the 0 to 100 test for you, just all electric. So right now you can hear the engine's running because I've got it set in charge mode. So the actual combustion engine is charging the actual battery. So now I'm going to switch to all electric mode. Now there are times you'll hear the engine's cut out. Now there's sometimes that the engine will actually take over even in an all electric mode because it senses that you need the combustion engine, you need that power. So hopefully when I stomp it in electric, it's going to stay in all electric and we can get an accurate reading of how long it takes to get from 0 to 100 in electric. We're off. And 90, 100. So there we go, 13 seconds. So that's basically how quick it takes you to get from 0 to 100 on all electric. Now I did actually have a warning popped up, or not even a warning, a request saying hit OK to enable the combustion engine. So it was sensing that I wanted great acceleration, so it's saying, do you want me to switch to the combustion engine and we can go a bit quicker? Now I want to talk to you about my experience and feeling about where we're headed with plug-in hybrids, electrical engines, and petrol prices. We've just come into mid-June and petrol prices have just gone crazy again. So what I loved about having this for the month was that I went to the petrol station 3 times. I put in 20 bucks one time, I filled the tank, and then I put in another 20 bucks another time. That's all I did for the whole month. Now that is so gratifying. What I think this car is perfect for is people who are around that 100K a day driving, because you'll get your free 60 and then you'll only do 40 in hybrid. And so you're going to get some great economy. Now I've heard people say that, oh, the RAV4 hybrid is better at this and better at that. Yes, it probably is better, and I haven't compared it. But what I can say about this car, the plug-in hybrid nature, I've got 2.2 at my best litres per 100 kilometers. Now that is almost 3 times better than the Puma. Can you believe it? The Puma is a 1 litre 3-cylinder turbo engine, and this thing is getting almost 3 times better fuel economy. Now that's just mind-blowing for me. The things you got to think about: can I plug it in overnight every night conveniently? Do I have a circuit that's not going to affect the other electric in the house? So like if you're running your air fryer, I found that I had circuitry problems, so I had to charge and let everyone know in the house I'm charging. You can't have the toaster on. So that's some of the things you got to think about. Do I have a high flow place that I can charge close to work and get it charged in that 2 hours? The Escape itself is a brilliant car. I drove one for 3 months and I've done my review. You can see that video here. There's no downside to it. It's just getting your head around plug-in hybrids. People go, well, you know, we want full electric. And yes, there's times when I thought, oh, if I could just get 100 kilometers in all electric driving every day, that would be good. But this is still very, very good. What I did like about this is it also can take E10 fuels. So that means you can save a bit of money there, because it can take those E10 fuels, which are generally a little bit cheaper as well than the standard price. So I have to say huge thank you to Stillwell Ford and Unley. They gave me the car for the whole month. They don't edit this, so they don't tell me what I can and cannot say. And so they just say, here, take the car and tell us what you think of it. So if you want to go down and check it out, I know in South Australia there's only a couple of dealerships that are handling the plug-in hybrid Escape, and Stillwell Ford is one of them. They'll be happy to show you through the car, let you take a test drive and really check it out, because I think you get in it and drive it and then you'll make your decision. And that's what I've done. I love it. I'll give you my full fuel breakdown, and I can't really give you a dollar figure because the price of fuel is fluctuating so much, but I can give you a breakdown of what I've spent over the month, how far I've gone, and how much fuel I've put into it. I'm the #1 Ford fan. I hope you enjoyed watching, and catch you next time.